The serene beauty of Pahalgam, a popular tourist destination in Jammu and Kashmir, was shattered by a horrific act of terrorism on date of attack. Tourists were deliberately targeted and killed. The attackers confirmed the religious affiliation of their victims. This crime has sent shockwaves throughout India and the world. This attack is not an isolated incident. It follows a series of provocations along the line of control. Just 19 days prior, Pakistan violated the ceasefire in Poonch. A Pakistani general made inflammatory remarks 6 days before the attack. This statement heightened tensions between the nuclear-armed neighbors. The international community has condemned the attack, urging dialogue. The attack has ignited outrage within India. This event has brought the volatile India-Pakistan relationship into focus. The Pahalgam attack bears all the hallmarks of terrorism, a deliberate act of violence targeting innocent civilians with the aim of instilling fear and achieving political objectives. The attackers' motive was to disrupt peace, undermine India's authority, and incite communal tensions. Evidence points towards terrorist groups operating from within Pakistan. These groups have a long history of violence in Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan's denial of involvement rings hollow in the face of mounting evidence. The timing of the attack suggests a coordinated effort to destabilize the region. Pakistan has a history of providing support to terrorist groups targeting India. These groups operate with impunity from Pakistani soil. This pattern of cross-border terrorism has been a persistent thorn in India-Pakistan relations. The roots of the India-Pakistan conflict run deep, entangled in the tumultuous partition of British India in 1947. The partition, which created the independent nations of India and Pakistan, was accompanied by widespread violence and displacement, leaving an indelible mark on the collective psyche of both nations. The heart of the conflict lies in the disputed territory of Jammu and Kashmir, which both India and Pakistan claim in its entirety. This territorial dispute has led to 3 full-fledged wars between the two countries, in 1947, 1965, and 1971, as well as numerous smaller conflicts and skirmishes. Despite multiple attempts at dialogue and diplomacy, the Kashmir issue remains a major stumbling block in India-Pakistan relations. The two countries have been locked in a bitter and protracted dispute over the region, with both sides accusing the other of human rights violations and sponsoring terrorism. Adding to the complexity of the conflict is the presence of a strong independence movement within Jammu and Kashmir. A significant segment of the Kashmiri population yearns for self-determination, seeking freedom from both Indian and Pakistani rule. This aspiration for independence further complicates the already volatile situation in the region. In a significant turn of events, residents of Pakistan-administered Kashmir, also known as Azad Kashmir, and Gilgit-Baltistan, have taken to the streets in recent months, protesting against Pakistani rule and expressing their desire to join India. These protests, unprecedented in their scale and intensity, reflect a growing disillusionment with Pakistani administration and a yearning for greater autonomy and human rights. The protesters, hailing from various parts of Pakistan-administered Kashmir, accuse the Pakistani government of exploiting their resources, suppressing their voices, and denying them basic rights. They point to the lack of development, economic opportunities, and political representation in their region as evidence of their marginalization. The sentiment of alienation and discontent is particularly strong in Gilgit-Baltistan, a strategically important region bordering China. The people of Gilgit-Baltistan have long complained of being treated as second-class citizens by the Pakistani government. These protests pose a significant challenge to Pakistan's narrative on Kashmir. Pakistan has long claimed to be the champion of the Kashmiri people, accusing India of oppression and human rights abuses. However, the protests in Pakistan-administered Kashmir expose the hollowness of these claims, revealing the deep-seated resentment and desire for freedom within its own territory. Section 5. India's military might. India, over the past few decades, has emerged as a regional military power, boasting a formidable and rapidly modernizing armed forces. The Indian military, consisting of the Army, Air Force, and Navy, is equipped with state-of-the-art weaponry and technology, capable of projecting power across the region and beyond. India's air power has received a significant boost in recent years with the induction of advanced fighter jets like the French-made Rafales and the Russian-made Sukhoi Su-30 MKIs. These 4.5-generation fighters, equipped with advanced radar systems, electronic warfare suites, and long-range missiles, enhance India's air superiority capabilities. In addition to its fighter fleet, India also possesses a formidable arsenal of ballistic and cruise missiles, including the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile, jointly developed with Russia. The BrahMos, with its high-speed precision strike capabilities and ability to evade enemy defenses, poses a significant deterrent against any potential aggression. Furthermore, India has been steadily expanding its naval capabilities, deploying aircraft carriers, nuclear-powered submarines, and advanced destroyers. The Indian Navy, with its blue water ambitions, aims to safeguard India's maritime interests in the Indian Ocean region and beyond. Section 6. Pakistan's precarious position. Pakistan's military, while numerically smaller than India's, possesses a diverse arsenal of conventional and unconventional weapons systems. However, Pakistan's military capabilities are widely considered to be inferior to India's in terms of technological sophistication, training, and logistical support. Pakistan's Air Force, the primary arm responsible for defending its airspace, relies heavily on aging aircraft, including US-supplied F-16s and Chinese-made JF-17 Thunder fighter jets. While these aircraft provide a certain degree of air defense capability, they are outmatched by India's more advanced fighters in terms of range, payload, and electronic warfare capabilities. Moreover, Pakistan's economy, plagued by structural weaknesses, corruption, and a heavy defense burden, limits its ability to invest in military modernization programs. This economic disparity with India puts Pakistan at a significant disadvantage in any potential arms race. To compensate for its conventional military inferiority, Pakistan has adopted a doctrine of asymmetric warfare, relying on irregular forces, proxy groups, and the threat of nuclear escalation to counter India's conventional superiority. This strategy, while potentially effective in deterring a large-scale Indian invasion, carries significant risks of escalation and unintended consequences. Section 7. The Nuclear Shadow. Both India and Pakistan possess nuclear weapons, making their rivalry one of the most dangerous in the world. The specter of nuclear war looms large over South Asia, casting a long shadow over any potential conflict between the two countries. The risk of nuclear escalation is further heightened by the lack of clear communication channels and confidence-building measures between India and Pakistan. Miscalculation, misperception, or an accidental escalation could have catastrophic consequences for both countries and the wider region. Historical nuclear risk assessments paint a sobering picture of the potential consequences of an India-Pakistan nuclear conflict. A 1989 State Department report, while deeming a full-scale war unlikely, highlighted the high risk of nuclear escalation in the event of a conventional conflict. A 1993 National Intelligence estimate assigned a 1 in 5 chance of a nuclear exchange between India and Pakistan within a decade. A 2019 study estimated that an India-Pakistan nuclear war could kill up to 125 million people, with devastating global climate impacts. Section 8. Shifting alliances. The geopolitical landscape in Asia is undergoing a period of rapid transformation, with shifting alliances and emerging partnerships reshaping the regional balance of power. The evolving dynamics between China, India, and the United States have significant implications for the India-Pakistan rivalry. China, in recent years, has emerged as Pakistan's all-weather friend, providing significant economic and military assistance. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, a multi-billion-dollar infrastructure project, has further cemented their strategic partnership. India, on the other hand, has witnessed a rapprochement with the United States, driven by shared concerns about China's assertive rise. The strengthening of the US-India strategic partnership, evident in increased defense cooperation and intelligence sharing, has raised concerns in Pakistan. The evolving trilateral relationship between China, India, and the United States creates a complex web of dependencies and rivalries. India's calculus in any potential conflict with Pakistan will be influenced by China's likely response and the level of support it can expect from the United States. Section 9. The Brink of War. The recent terrorist attack in Pahalgam has brought India and Pakistan to a dangerous crossroads. The attack, widely seen as an act of aggression orchestrated by Pakistan, has ignited outrage in India and fueled calls for a strong military response. India faces a complex dilemma. On the one hand, India cannot afford to let such provocations go unanswered, as it would embolden Pakistan-based terrorist groups and undermine India's credibility. On the other hand, a military response carries the risk of escalation, potentially spiraling into a wider conflict with devastating consequences. India's response will likely involve a combination of diplomatic, economic, and military measures. India may seek to isolate Pakistan diplomatically, intensify its counter-terrorism efforts, and conduct limited military strikes against terrorist camps across the line of control. However, India must tread carefully, avoiding actions that could provoke a disproportionate response from Pakistan or draw China into the conflict. The stakes are incredibly high, and any miscalculation could have catastrophic consequences for the region.